Good morning. I want to address this common saying that you've probably heard before here in my post here. That idea that strong men create good times. Good times create, I don't know, it's written there. I gotta look at it to see what it is. I'm sure you've heard that before. I just had another epiphany about that whole formula, because I know there's lots of truth in it, especially over great epochs of time, maybe generations. And you can look at that and that can kind of punch you in the face a bit. But you can also see that as a hologram, and it's not something that just happens over generations or greater cycles, but it's something that happens in a season, or which with each and every one of us. In my work coaching men, there's this identity, and the identity is the collapsed man, and the collapsed man feels like a weak man. And the paradox of the tension between weakness and strength is that in order to become strong, you have to constantly test yourself and push yourself, so you're going to be feeling weak a lot of the time. And when I go back to the wisdom of indigenous ways, we have the sweat lodge, and a lot of the purpose of the sweat lodge is about unraveling everything. Just taking off all of the masks, taking off all your garments, and going in there and being with the fire, and being with the water, and being with the steam, and being with that prayer for life that completely strips you of your strength. Here's a nice view of Nelson's Orange Bridge, and gorgeous view of the rocks that I'm walking with. But that's what I wanted to point out, is that in order to be the strong man, in order to create success, you need to move through collapse again and again and again. And I think that the trick is to not indulge in despair, because despair is an indulgence. To wallow at our losses, or to wallow if it's not the way we want it to be, that's kind of an indulgence, a pity party, and an identity, to identify with the collapse. Don't identify with the situation. Better keep moving and keep moving through it. I had a great conversation with a client last week, and we really, in the conversation, teased apart the difference between despair and grief. Because the way I look at it, despair, it's kind of like depression. It's going to keep you down like a wet blanket that's over your fire. But grief is a different thing. Grief is a beautiful medicine. Grief is like when you're staring at a fire, there's two directions to the fire. There's the flames that are licking up, flames that are reaching higher, that are like spiritually uplifting. But there's a second movement in that fire, and that's why we love to be close to fire and get up close to the campfire. That other movement is the coals. The coals are burning down, and they're building a bed of coals. And that movement down is the movement of grief. Like Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown would say, good grief. Because when we have the courage and the decision to lean into the grief, not to numb out, but to lean into the pain of the grief and become fully unraveled, that's when we find the blessing again. That's when we find the strength again to move forward. So that whole equation about strong men, hard times, weak men, good times, I think it's in every man's life that he has to have his seasons of strength has his seasons of hitting the peaks, but also have his seasons of being in the pit and being in the valley. And that's the thing, is where you find your strength, is when nobody's watching, and the daily disciplines of being able to find a way to move forward, even through the grief, even through the despair, and to just let go of it. Let go of all of that and keep moving forward. Keep seeing the vision. Keep asking for guidance, because you have a purpose. You have a sacred purpose, and it's given to you by God. Like, you don't have to earn it. It's encoded in your cells, in your bone marrow. All you got to do is remember it, and then tap into that blessing every day and be guided towards God's plan, because God's got a plan for you. And that's what I wanted to get in here and chime on about, is that whole strength and weakness thing. It's for all of us, and it's to not stay stuck in one identity, thinking I'm strong or thinking I'm weak, but just thinking I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep creating. I'm going to keep letting go, and I'm going to keep showing up. So have a wonderful day. Bye for now.